you're gone, it's time to come home. There's an awful lot of breathing room, but I can hardly move. I see you got the pizza I left on the counter to keep from you getting it. I'm not gonna yell at you right now. I'm sitting here working on an essay, or story, or whatever they fucking are. Dana, the fact is that, if you're writing about your life, it's more of a fictional... Whatever, Scooter, fuck off. I got that message the other day about my writing technique. Sometimes I think people just have one hand on the keyboard and one hand on their dick, just waiting for people to fucking go out and do shit that they would never do, so they can go, that's wrong, oh, that's wrong. I guess that's their thing, I don't know. But I do know when you're trying to be a professional, you have to deal with that bullshit all the fucking time. I just imagine these sitting there at the keyboard. I'm squeezing the head of my pee-pee. Anyway, this one's called To Feel Safe. The thing about when you try to heal and listen to the world, listen to yourself. Man, you have to deal with everything. You have to process everything. You may have shit come up in your melon that you don't want to deal with, and normally we go, ooh, I'm not dealing with that right now. The interesting thing is we say that over and over. I don't have time to deal with that right now, so I'm going to push it away. Well, what happens is you push all those things down into your subconscious and never deal with them. Sooner or later, they start bubbling up like swamp gas. And the most simple of spark will set it all off and go boom. Last month that happened to me. I thought I was doing pretty kick-ass, pretty zen. Granted, when I was helping a friend of mine open up the studio, art studio in Rushville, it's on pause right now. I was working my fucking ass off. I wanted to prove something to myself and all the folks I grew up with. They're wonderful folks. The thing about Midwest people, especially Rushville people, there's a work ethic. We were taught, you must kill yourself and wear yourself down and be angry and work until you die. And if you don't, well, you're weak or whatever. You gotta do it this way. I always have that in me. It's a good work ethic, I was always taught whatever you do the best you can. When you're younger, that's a lot easier to do. You feel immortal and you have your body to help you push all that away. You start getting older, and it gets harder to do. And you still feel like you need to have that strength inside of you. Hi, Poppy. How was the pizza? That was my fault. I should have left that on the counter. When I was working on the gallery, I wore myself down. I was fighting through all the fucking testicle pain, the demons and everything. Because I wanted to prove something to myself, like I said. But also to other folks that, yeah, I may be covered in paint. My car may be covered in paint. And I may try to get y'all to laugh and be silly or whatever. But deep down, I do believe in what I'm doing. I believe creativity can help you heal. especially nowadays with people. Some folks are really doing that, working to death to take care of their family and stuff. And they need releases. They need places where they can breathe. I hope one day that gallery is that. Have some art studios upstairs where people can rent them out and paint, or go in and buy art from local artists that they didn't expect to be artists. But in doing that, I triggered something inside of me. If you all drive by the gallery door, you'll see if you drive by the gallery, you'll see there's a board over the door. My friend who runs the gallery, bless her heart, sugarcoated it and said it was just stuck and slammed. That's not the case. Most people know it too, because they know me around here and the shit I deal with. Had a serious attack one night. I was drinking vodka. Can't do that anymore. And I started getting flashes of everybody had tried to fucking beat the shit out, or did beat the shit out of me. All that violence I saw. And I threw something at the waking nightmare. Thing is, the door was right there and it shattered the door. I woke up the next day and knew something was going on inside of me. Me and my friend agreed, and this was definitely all on me. I even told her, I go, man, I really want to help you run this gallery, but I gotta fix myself. I go, I can't be around people in public and try and be a businessman and have whatever the fuck this is going on. She gave me a big hug, and I came out to the country to a very, very good friend of mine. I just kept building and building and building, and I couldn't figure out what the triggers were. Some serious shit bubbled up, and a spark happened, and there was an explosion. It made me stop and sit back and think about everything that I do. Maybe it's middle age, I don't know. Maybe it's really wanting to be stable. Have a good home and feel safe. I talked to a friend of mine that I'm staying with, very close friend. He helped me get through one of the blackouts. As I've said before, what happens is the pain gets so severe and everything in my head that this white comes. And I'm gone. I am gone. I think what happens is that survivor in me, I ain't call him the boy, because forever he's the little boy that I was. Dingy white t-shirt, horrible jeans, stinky kid, mom's never home, etc., etc., etc. And that kid's a fucking fighter. Damn. I think as I look at the essay I'm trying to work on and talk to you all, I think that side of me, right, there's this, I call it Ned Bojangles, there's a redneck. And I think that's that boy growing up. The longest time people would see me twitch like this, in my head, there's either a memory or it's usually a fist, a gun, something where a violent act occurs and it makes me twitch. Especially at one point, I had some kids hold me down in Texas. Fucking little pieces of shit. And one of them, kid had failed like 3 fucking times, so what was it, the 4th or 5th grade? And this fucker's like 8th grade freshman or some shit. Man, those memories do trigger that pain. And this motherfucker, his friends had him down, and he beat the fuck out of me. Took his boot, put it in dog shit, kicked my face and whatnot. Ironically enough, that was one of those times that I whited out. And then when I came to, I was on top of him, fucking biting his ear off and looking at everything. But I remember that boot, and I still can see that boot sometimes. Not sure I'll ever get past those things. The doctors want to severely medicate me, and I'm never going to do that. Been there, done that, didn't work. So that's what I was talking to my buddy here, because I process. I'm like, I need to figure this shit out, and I'm the only one that can. Only me can fix me. And we were both talking, like, yeah, there's part of me that's broken. You can't fix it. You can't go back and put the pieces together. I'm broken. Doesn't mean I'm broke. But I think, excuse me, here lately, whenever I start doing all this and it gets all fliddle-pated and my gut gets jacked up, I think a part of me has to come to a balance with that. But yeah, the boy grew up into this one crazy motherfucker right here. Man, even the shit I've done since I've grown up and just traveled around, there's some wonderful, beautiful stuff that I did. There's also some pure fucking darkness. And I think that's where I gotta find that balance. It's in between that line of what happened to me and all that fucking darkness. And all that pain. Because the boy, every time I write those stories, that boy's always surrounded in pain. And it seems like the only way he can create is if he's in pain. I don't know. That's what this essay is I'm working on here. To feel safe. I'm in a home in my hometown with very close friends, and I am more safe than I can ever be. Trust me. When I'm awake, there's this lingering thing. You have to keep searching for the music. And then there's a voice in my head. There's two voices. One of them's from an ex-girlfriend that said, you can't save everybody, Dana. Because that's my defense. I think a part of me believes I'm so broken that I can't save myself. But what I can do is try and save everybody else. I call that the Robin Williams rodeo. That man was loved and adored by the world, and he couldn't save himself. No, I'm not suicidal. The pain gets so severe sometimes that I wish it would end, but especially after last Christmas, a buddy of mine that I stayed with, he helped me out. And the thing is, you do feel like you just can't save yourself sometimes. I think maybe it's the energy of the world right now, too. I mean, fuck. Every day you wake up and there's some fucking twat waffle cunt licker doing some stupid fucking shit. And I'm saying all across the board, man. I'm not fucking putting one name to this because it's stupid. And it's hard to think you can heal yourself and save yourself when it seems like the world can't even save itself. To feel safe. I think for me, is I have to feel safe inside my own head. Know that those monsters and demons may bubble up, but they don't have a hold of me anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna... Oh, So I had a dream last night. It's the first night I didn't have nightmares in a long, long time. Several months. It was a good dream. It's a living funeral. I'm still trying to figure out who the living funeral was for. It wasn't mine. But I was sitting there and the boy was sitting next to me. And the boy's never said anything. He screams. And he always looks at me. But last night he started talking. I'm trying to remember what he said because it kind of blew me away that he was talking. But I know he likes to travel. And he likes to find the music of the world. So I'll be doing that again for a little bit. It's not a bad thing. I'm not running away from anybody in my head. It's what I know. Right now, that is my home. I feel safe when I'm behind the wheel and the headlights from looking at the horizon. The unknown horizon, or if I'm waiting in an airport, watching people, and I meet people and I talk to them. And everywhere I go, I treat people with respect and kindness. Now, granted, that's 98% of the time. The other 1% is sometimes there's just some twat waffles and cunt lickers in the world that you gotta thump them or something. But the other 1% was also me wanting to self-destruct. When I did that, the world didn't like me. That's definitely a lesson I've learned sitting here trying to find the balance inside of me again. If you just be respectful and kind, and just go through the world not wanting to harm anybody, you really will be amazed at how much the world will give that respect and kindness back to you. I guess that's the balance I'm thinking of. Yeah, this time when I travel, it's going to be different. The boy and I will be talking. We'll see where the boy wants to go now. Alright, back to the essay. Thank you all for listening. And I do hope this helps a couple of y'all out there that privately messaged me saying thank you for doing what I do. We're all in this together, man. Alright, I need to refill my coffee and smoke more pot.